welcome back to SoFloDining. I'm Doris with a D, and today we are at the chef's table with Chef Dan and Chef Armando, and we are at Candela Restaurant. And the guys have been talking about some stuff here, so we were asking some questions, and Armando, we wanted to know, how long have you been in
Hi.
business?
Hi. I think that it was September 2007 that I got into the location, and probably, I don't know,
Long time.
long time.
Long time. So you're pretty much a pillar in this neighborhood.
Well, I've been, I think that the guy next to me has been older than me here. Then everybody else came, a little bit later.
Yeah.
A lot of change in the neighborhood, people.
Yeah. I see a lot of new buildings, a lot of new stuff coming up.
Yes.
I mean,
New people, people
Yeah.
come and go. It's good.
I remember when I first started doing this, people were telling me, you got to go to Candela, you got to go to Candela. And I'm like, where's Candela? They said, Wilton Manners. I'm like, where? And nobody would give me the directions. They're like, no.
Thank you.
It was like a secret. Like they were holding this as a secret. Really. And I had to find it. I had to go online, search it, and do the whole thing. Because nobody wanted to tell me. They were holding this as a secret.
Back in the day, it was a lot. It was a lot less. It was not so easy to find a place. Now it's with all the internet, you have easy access. Before it was a little bit more like word of mouth, and that has changed.
They were keeping you a secret from me.
Somehow, yes. Somehow they wish me well, but they wanted to keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
In a way,
But
I should have probably listened to them and kept myself small and more, But
No.
we did what pretty much everybody does, grows a little bit more, and
Yeah, some people grow too big, and then it's. So I understand.
Yes.
You wanted to keep your original self.
But you at the same time want to be able to showcase your food to more people.
Right.
So it's a difficult thing at the moment, and the rush of events. You're on the newspapers, and you're on TV, and then you're again on the newspapers, and then you have an interview with somebody, and then they call. And people influence you in a way that they want more of you, and you feel like you have to provide.
And you have to sacrifice something.
Oh,
you don't want to.
that's what you don't know.
Yeah.
Inexperience on my part, you think that you can do everything, and you, yes, we can do it. No, there's always a sacrifice, and I think that my biggest achievement is that after like 17, 18 years that I had the restaurant, I didn't lose my family. Although I didn't get divorced. I had a lot of trouble, but I didn't get divorced. I took care of the kids. I took Sundays off. It's a long time ago, which is not a very smart move on the restaurant business. Then I have to have some time for the family. So at least I kept the business, and I kept it with the family together, and that is important.
That's a lot. In this business, that's a lot. Is being with somebody that knows what the business is. I mean, when I came up, I was doing this since I'm 14 years old, and anybody I dated or was married to or anything knew holidays, weekends, no vacation. They knew that you're not going to see me Christmas, you're not going to see me Easter. And then what we do is we celebrate it a different day.
Yeah.
It's just that, but some people, they get involved with people and they don't understand the business. They don't understand that this is,
And
this
it's
is our
very
life. This is
important-
our
Very
blood.
important to have a good balance, because without a good balance, you cannot achieve.
Yeah, well, as I tell you, in my case, I think that the only good thing I did, I sacrificed the restaurant for the family.
Right.
Meaning,
That's right.
I do take
Right.
every holiday, every Sunday. I try to do that because Otherwise, I would not. Now the kids are at all,
Right.
and they do their own thing.
Right.
So I get the sandwich for
You would have
myself.
missed all that.
No, and now I do it for myself. Like now I don't want to give it back.
Yeah.
Now it's mine and my wife. We go to the beach and enjoy ourselves. But it's a lot of hard work. It's many years.
Mhm.
In the location, it's a lot of a lot of hard work and consistency.
No, we
show up
you know
every
we
day.
do. We've done a lot of these interviews, and pretty much it's the same thing. You're saying pretty much, and we're pretty much picking and choosing who we interview, and we see the successful places. It's the same thing. The owner's here. The
Oh,
owner,
yeah.
This is the life. This is
yeah.
this
Oh,
is
yeah,
it.
yeah.
This is it.
Here is my wife and myself.
Right.
We cook. Like I cannot blame if something is not right. I cannot blame a sous chef or a cook.
Right.
Doesn't work like that. It's me.
It's mama.
Even though in a big operation, it's always
Pick the big guy up.
me the one to
Right.
blame. I take all the blame, whatever. But here, it's actually me. If you want something now, either I will cook it for you or my wife. It's the way it is. I think I simplify it in a way that I don't have to deal with many people coming through the kitchen, and I'd rather.
And that's always a challenge too, is getting the right people. And for me, I always found it was more work.
I gave up.
It was more work.
If I were to have someone to cook in the kitchen with me, or when I'm not here, or someone that takes over the kitchen, I'm not gonna look for it. It will come because I cannot be interviewing and doing, and I don't.
You have your systems. I mean, I've been in the kitchen
And
here,
I like cooking.
and I've seen your systems, and you are perfectionist. I mean, I've seen the refrigerators, how you have them lined up, everything. It's a very special kitchen.
It's my kitchen.
Yeah,
It's my
but you know what I mean. Then you're off.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
comes
yeah.
in and changes everything.
It's a big problem.
It's a big problem. Yeah, I used to have my walk-in, and I used to have how you have the racks, and I had one rack, and I told the rest of the kitchen, this is your rack.
Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the prep rack. This is
Yeah, I
this,
haven't thought
and
of
this
that.
is my rack. This is your rack.
I have
And
not
tell
thought of
them-
that.
and
I
tell them,
should.
And I'm coming by every day to make sure everything is labeled, dated, and clean. But whatever you put on there, they knock your socks.
I
But
should.
don't touch my stuff.
Well, I'm telling you, this the little things that after many years, if you have the chance to do it, you do it for yourself. So, in the kitchen, when I built it through all these many years, I built it in a way that it would benefit me 150%. It would give me a comfort working. It would be easy. Things are what they're supposed to be. It flows in a certain way.
Exactly.
I don't try to get things to be too complicated. This I learned a long time ago with Master Chef Klaus, in the Art Institute here, and he would, when you're there, you try to impress people and you try to do complicated things, and he would break it and said, "Don't if you're gonna do it for 500 people, then don't do it at all. It's gotta be something." So those things, you appreciate those things way into your experience lives as a cook, as a chef, as a kitchen manager, So yeah,
You know what they say? It's the little things.
No, what I like here
Minute
is,
to minute,
Is
everything
the-
counts.
and what I love here is you
Yes.
notice every time we go. You don't notice because you're in the kitchen, but I always say when the food comes out, I'm always like, "This is classical. This is classical. This is how it's supposed to be." Every time we get stuff right, and I look at her, I'm like, "That's how it's supposed to be," And then we go to other restaurants, order similar dishes, and it's, I mean, I'm not saying they don't taste good, but I'm saying
I
it's-
understand.
They put all this stuff on it,
Listen,
and I'm like, this
they-
is not what I want. I
There,
want.
there are things that I wish I could do,
Right.
but I know my limitations. I cannot do 3 or 4 different textures in a dish, even though I would love to,
Right.
if I am only doing it with a limited amount of people or by myself. Those things I would love to do things like that. I cannot. I try to do it in a more simple way. You know, I simplify things. I try to make, a clean dish, the hot food, some elevation, a little contrast in color, and that's
Classic.
for me. That's enough.
No,
That's
and it's
in the environment that I am.
and
It's
classic.
good.
That's the
It's-
thing.
yeah.
That's, when someone comes to a Spanish restaurant, they want Spanish food. And sometimes you go to places and that's not what you get. And that's what I love about this place is, people ask me all the time, where's the best Spanish paella?
Yeah, right here.
Well, I said a lot of paellas.
But when I say Spanish traditional, I say here.
Well, I
Now,
try.
Now I'm Cuban. I love Cuban paella.
It's a little different.
It's a little different.
It's a little different. Yeah. The Cuban paella is a whole different thing. I would say that probably is un arroz en cazuela,
It's Americanized.
in a casserole
It's become
type of thing.
Americanized now.
But
and-
no, the paella here is the paella as I used to cook. Of course, there's gonna be a whole bunch of people that's gonna say, "Oh, you're gonna put chorizo in the paella, or you're gonna do this," which I understand 100%. I agree with them 150%. They live in Spain.
Right.
They cook for themselves, and I cook for the people who give me the $25 that the paella costs.
Right.
Am I selling out? Well, I don't know. Am I going to disappoint you when that's what you want? Am I going to kamikaze my own clientele on behalf of the purity of the Spanish paella? I don't get
No.
subsidized by the Valencia
And that, right.
government.
And that's the thing is like the paella. When you look up paella, like the real definition, the old books, they tell you artichoke, garbanzo. They
Yeah.
tell you that in there. It's in there. But people have been conditioned to visit Spain, go to the tourist section, and they're going to give them, And it's not that it's bad, but that's what I'm saying. Like when I look for the root, when I look for genuine, this is it. I mean, my mother loved, right? We brought her here. She loves paella like
That's her
crazy.
thing.
My mother
crazy.
lives on paella.
I'm going to tell you something else. I don't know how to make it different. Like that's the only
Yeah,
way I
you know the other
know.
way.
So why would I do to make it deep? I can change the broth, I can change the rice,
Even
I
the
can
rice.
change the things,
You'd be
but
surprised. The rice you use.
the calasparra.
Right.
Not the bomba. Bomba is a quality of rice which is extremely good. I use calasparra, which is pretty much like everybody uses in Spain. It's the calasparra rice. It's a short grain rice.
Grain rice. See?
High content of almidón, starch. So it's a rice that goes very well in a paella. It's a rice that goes very well in a meloso, which is similar to a risotto.
Right. Yeah.
And it's very versatile, and it takes, I don't know, 3-4 times is the volume of liquid, so it's very flavorful.
Okay.
Just like carnaroli rice, just like the arborio rice.
Right.
This is very good rice, and
That's
what I use.
But that's the example. I go to places sometimes. I got long grain rice.
Oh well,
And it's
yeah,
like-
no,
Now it's not that it doesn't taste right, but to me that's not.
no,
original.
no,
So-
that's a no. Or parboil.
Our
Parboil, you know.
That's not working.
No. I remember back in the day there was a commercial in Spain. They were promoting parboiled rice. I don't remember how they call it, and it was something like the parboiled rice is the rice that you never overcook it, no matter how much liquid you put on it. Like there's no way you can overcook it.
Yeah.
So that's the rice for people who does not know how to cook.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
I was
That's true.
there, and I don't know. I try to not use it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say nothing about people who use it, but
No,
I don't even use long grain rice at home anymore, even though Cubans do use a lot of medium to long grain rice like basmati or something like that in their everyday cooking. At home, I only use short grain rice. I don't know why. We like it more.
See, I do
So the
bus.
flavor.
I do bus. She's gonna laugh. I do basmati for my black beans. I like.
Oh,
basmati.
on the
I like black with my black beans.
yeah, on the moros
Yeah,
on the right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Why?
why.
They usually is longer rice in Cuba.
I
Yeah.
did it by mistake one time, and I liked it.
No.
And I said, you know what? I'll just keep doing
If
it.
you like it, you
That's
like
it.
it. That's it. It's, you know.
But
Yeah, it holds just the right amount of flavor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the style of cooking that you do is
Well, it's casual. The style of my cooking. It's mostly food, you know, Spain, Cuba, which is my background. I looked a lot into if I'm gonna do something that is Cuban, like the roast pork. Even though the technique is a French technique, it's a confit pork
right.
that cooks, it roast, but it doesn't roast because roast is dry. I cooked it in fat and flavored in a mojo, so it kind of confits into for many hours.
Basting itself.
And then I try to get that better and better all the time because you know I it's something that I like, you know. Like I lived in Spain, I learned how to cook in Spain. My whole culinary thing starts in Spain.
Okay.
Then when I opened the restaurant and I do when I opened the restaurant, Spanish cuisine was not like it is right now.
Right.
There were not that many products being sold.
Oh, yeah.
There were no chorizos or serrano hams or all of that. You know, you found your prosciutto and you find your salami. Pretty much everything was Italian.
Right. Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you gotta adapt.
Yeah, nothing wrong with you know Italian charcuterie. It's excellent. Today, I have half and half. I have half of my charcuterie is Spain. The other half is Italian. I eat it.
Yeah.
So I use it for my. I have the soprasata calabrese, the spicy one. I like it. And then I have the salami toscano. And I use everything. I do a lot of preserve, you know, like eggplant, soto olio, and things that are not so much Spain, but Italy. But I like it. And when I learn in Spain, I learn with Italians,
Okay.
which makes it very difficult for you to not. And then we're in
can't
South
pull that
Florida,
apart. You
and you're in South Florida, and you have all these Cuban things that you forget for 10 years. You forget, but then you come here, and you have the Cuban sandwich, you know, in your face, and then what you're gonna do? Like you're not gonna try to make a killing Cuban sandwich. You're gonna wanna make a killing Cuban sandwich, even though you're also making paella. I don't know. It's the United States. It's something that. Then when COVID, when everything shut down, how many paellas am I going to be selling?
Yeah.
You know, if nobody can sit down and eat at the
Come in and
restaurant.
Sit down, right?
So what you do, you open a window and you remember that, you know, and you start doing Cuban food
And you
for the
have
people in the
lunches. I was
neighborhood.
just gonna say you have Cuban lunches down.
And then it's the only guy who lower the prices with COVID. Everybody when the prices up, I lower the prices for the people in the neighborhood. So, you know, they're not working, so
Yeah.
they can come in and get that.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then transition COVID to today's day. What am I gonna do? Shut down that part that people are coming for? No, I cannot. So kind of the lunch goes like that. There's a lot of people that want something.
Right.
Also, there's people that come for the tapas, so they come for the whatever they want to go for, I give it to them. And then dinner, I concentrate in your wines and your
The regular.
meals and your tapas and your things,
Sangria.
A lot of sangria, lots of sangria, a lot of paellas and lots of patatas bravas. The brava potatoes, lots of them. People really like that.
Okay.
It's spicy.
Yeah.
I don't know. They like it.
Is that your most popular dish?
Yeah, those are big.
Potatoes?
Those that potato. Yeah,
Wow.
lots of that.
Now this one's not on our questions. I just thought of this. As a chef, you're in the kitchen. You make the pay. You make the food. Is there a dish that you wish people would order more? Like you make, like this is good. I wish more people would order this.
The specials.
Yeah.
When I come out with a special,
Right.
there's something that comes to me, and then I do it for myself.
Right.
After 17 years, I'm very selfish.
Yeah.
I cook for myself, and then I give you the leftovers because I cook a lot.
Yeah.
I don't
You
cook a
make
little
it,
bit. So
right.
I cook,
Okay.
and then I say, yeah, it's but that doesn't go anywhere. Like that goes.
Yeah.
If I cook something that I really, really like, then I say, well, you know what? We can give, and it might not be Spanish. It might be something else. So that goes into the specials. Do I want people to try that thing that blew my mind? Yes.
Yeah.
Do they order that? No. Because they come here for what they want to eat. Like I want lasagna. It's something that I cannot get away from the menu, because if I get lasagna off the menu, there's a lot of people who's gonna come here and have a problem. And then they're not gonna come anymore because
They want that.
Yeah.
there are 4 or 5
like
people.
your
One eat the
lasagna.
lasagna, the other one eat the fish, the other one the paella, and the other one eat something else. And then that's a problem that I created.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a problem that the restaurant and we as a family here, it's me, my wife, and we have that problem, but it's a good problem. Yeah, it's so good that people don't want to adapt, but you
As long as
see,
you can adapt.
I don't
As long
know.
as you can adapt, that's
Yeah,
it.
but
If you're going to
catering
accommodate and
to your
adapt,
people.
you know.
This is your neighborhood. You're feeding them.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
some things, and then again, why don't you open and kept doing that thing without 17 years? I have been cooking here for 17 years. If I don't change the menu, I hang myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot be cooking
The same
for
thing.
17 years the same thing. I can't.
Yeah.
No, we talk about it all the time. It's like some of the food that I cooked, I can't eat. Like I make a chicken franchise. Everybody loves my chicken franchise. I can't eat it. I hate it. Filet mignon, lobster. I used to work in a place that used to sell surf and turf every night. 30 or 40 of them every night. So guess what? Filet mignon, lobster tail, I don't like it.
No,
You just see it so much.
Mira, chicken, not that I don't like, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. I can live without the bird.
Right. It's you too.
Yeah, me too.
Today,
Chicken.
my wife gave me a little bit of the chicken breast that I have, marinated, you put it on a saute pan with olive oil, and you leave it sit there, it caramelizes that thing, you turn it around, you put the saute onions, that's it, that's the only thing I do.
Yeah.
That thing was very, very, very good. Very good. Why is not full of people eating that dish? Because I know that a lot of people in the United States eat chicken. Probably what they eat the most is chicken breast. I don't even do chicken breast. I am. Why would I do chicken breast if the chicken breast at a point start coming all tough and it was, there was a point in which I thought to myself, I cannot buy chicken breast no more. I don't know if it happens to you. Buy the 40 pound and it's in a mess.
They're all, yeah, yeah.
Then I discover chicken tender, a 40-pound case of only chicken tenders.
Right.
So all I do is chicken tenders. I give you 3 chicken tenders in the portion. It's pretty much,
And those are pretty consistent.
those are tenders.
Yeah.
The day that they're not tender,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But then I do that. Does it cost me a lot more? Yes. Do I sleep better at night knowing that chicken is gonna be tender? It's not gonna be. Some of the chicken breast that I bought back in the day was not even good for broth.
Yeah.
I had to, and I don't know how.
They would turn to rubber.
Listen, I don't know what's going on, so I just don't do it anymore. Am I successful? Do I buy a castle? Has a lot of money? No. Am I successful that I can buy something more expensive than that thing and not need that extra money? Yes. I've been successful in the way that I can buy better product.
No, and that'll keep the customer coming for. They appreciate a better product. If you put that rubbery chicken,
yes, but
they're gonna say,
I know that would be financially wrong if they don't come back. But when I go to bed at night, I like to go in peace with what I did.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And for me to be able to not worry about buying all the olive oil that because do I have money for instance, foie, I make it terrino foie gras. At a point I thought of, no, and then I said to myself, don't do it. And it's very expensive, so don't do it, don't go there.
Right.
Don't buy Kobe, beef, like certain things I don't buy. Olive oil is very necessary for me to have olive oil, all the one I want. I need to have plenty of olive oil, I need to have good tomato, I need to have good salt.
Right.
It's very important for me to have good salt, saffron, and that that chicken tender thing. Yeah, it's a lot more the case.
Right.
I'm glad that for me that's not a problem. That is good. I mean, it's.
No, it's a challenge. Number one, like you said, the quality. You mentioned like the Kobe. That's another thing. People with trends. People like these trends.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have this, you don't have that. Those are trends.
No.
And if you chase trends.
No.
That's
No. I fell out of love with following the trends of culinary enthusiasts that I don't care anymore.
No,
I don't care.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like when we do our reviews, we do all our reviews. People ask us, why don't we go down into Miami? And I say, there are good places in Miami. But for the most part, I said, I don't do pretentious food. And by that, I mean we're Cuban, black beans and rice. That's considered peasant food. That's black beans and rice. You go to some places in Miami, you'll get a plate of moro. They'll take a fried pig's ear and put it in there and charge you $20 for that. And for what? Oh, well, the ear and the flavor. No, just give me black beans and rice. I don't need, but this rice was farmed from the mountain. No, I don't need to know that. And that's a hard thing because a lot of places, like you just said, they follow those trends, and that's not a good thing. That's a.
They usually think they have to reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
Every few years, but usually restaurants that are in the restaurants that has been forever
Established.
they kind of do a consistent good product,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah, we got a place right on South Beach. I don't want to advertise anybody. Right on South Beach, it's been there forever. They serve, I think, breakfast all day. They serve meatloaf.
Mhm.
The owner's recipe from 1940 something. Meatloaf on South Beach. What else? Shrimp scampi. Just basic stuff that people order. And that place is always packed. And they've been there since the 40s. And they're right in the middle
So they
of
do
what
it-
I'm talking about. They're right
Yeah,
in the
you
middle.
don't go to South Beach. I know the meatloaf.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean, you know,
meatloaf. And,
yeah.
and you know what? And when we went, she said to me, I said, you got to try this meatloaf.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Now I'm going to ask you for the name of the place.
I'll tell you after. But I said, you got to try the meatloaf. And then what's wild is the owner's there. And I remember the one time he came out and you've done this with us. You brought us croquetas one time.
Uh-huh.
He came out and he said, try this. I said, what is it? Pickled zucchini and squash. I said, pickled zucchini and squash? Well, guess who makes that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is
It's
good.
delicious, yeah.
Again, but these are places like we just said, they're consistent. They're consistent. They don't have to chase, I think like you here, you find yourself, you find your niche, and you're good. You're good at it.
And listen, did I one back in the day do balsamic pills and powdered olive oil and a gelatin of beets with the
Yes,
Puma of-
yes.
did I? Yeah, but was that? That I did too much for myself,
Right.
and not so much for the customer. When I need to do it for myself, but also I need you to appreciate it because I cannot be cooking just for myself.
Exactly.
So at a point, I pull back from that and says, you know what, calm down,
You got to take that step.
yeah, and be consistent and nice and present a clean plate, something nice. Concentrate more in products and things that are gonna be good on the plate. Like you can see the quality and the flavors, and don't do too much gimmick.
Right.
Gimmick.
No, and there's
like-
room for that if you have specials, like you said, or if you ever wanted to do that, you can do that extra.
Yeah.
You don't have to have that as like the main.
I tried that. The paella comes out with a good aroma. You can smell, and you smell that is good. It has loose grains of rice, even though it has a little bit of the socarrá burn on the side and a little bit on the bottom, and it's nice and caramelized, and the colors are right, and the products inside they're good, and it makes me happy. Then the brancino, nice, crispy, moist. If the mojo, I want it bright and green. I don't want it dull and all. I want it bright, and I want the best potatoes I can get and make them simple. I like things that are simple, but they are cooked consistent, and they look good, they're clean, they taste right, they make sense. That's pretty much it. That I cannot ask for more than that, because I don't have the resources here.
Right.
I don't have a team of cooks,
Right. Putting together a plate.
putting together 7 different parts of a plate, so that what I'm saying?
Right.
That I cannot do.
Right.
But but overall, listen, food don't come back. If it comes back, I want to know why.
Of course.
Always. I made a point on servers telling me, and one is my wife, and the other one is a good friend of mine that that has been here forever. So that's very important for me. If there's no food coming back or no complaints, I'm happy.
We
People eat the food.
We like taking food home.
Well, yeah, I do big portions, and sometimes, if you do big portions, people are not gonna be finishing the whole thing. They're gonna do 3 or 4 tapas, and then they wanna try 2 or 3 main courses. That's going to be too much.
Yeah.
You know that. So that's not a problem, you know. Or if you are in a hotel and you're gonna take it to the hotel, but you're not satisfied. I see in your face that you're happy. You know, that makes me happy. I don't, you know,
No.
I like that.
No, and on the paella, we said about where it caramelized around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have to fight for on the plate when it
On
comes
the-
out. That's mine. That's mine.
You're not supposed to know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find your way into the hospitality industry?
Well, you go to Spain from growing up in Cuba. Since I was a little kid, and I have memories of what I ate at home, you know, life in the United States and Europe have been going up since, you know, the war. Every day you have more and more in the table. Every day you have more quality, more products. You know, culinary history is going up in U.S., Europe. Not in Cuba. In Cuba, after 59, the culinary history has been in decline. So every day is less and less and less, and you grow having a more limited
Resource.
spectrum on what you eat.
Oh.
Plus, I think that also Cuba being an island back in the day that had so many things, and it was so fertile and had so much fish, and then you put a pig and they will reproduce, and you have pigs and cows, and you have fruits and vegetables, and you have fish, and, you know. So back in the day, I think that Cubans didn't have a hard time as much as Europeans had a hard time, and they tried to eat everything that they could get their hands on.
Right.
So their way of eating was more necessity, so they ate a lot more things, and they tried to venture into a lot more simple things that you would not eat
Right.
in Cuba. Like, you know, in Cuba people don't eat a lot of spinach, and, you know, for just giving you an idea, or, you know, they eat rice, and they eat beans and sweet plantains, and they eat pork and beef, you know, chicken and stuff. When I went to Spain, and I discovered their seafood, which is different from fried fish in Cuba,
Right.
or a cocktail of ostiones, you know, like this, you know, like oyster cut, you know. When I went to Spain and I saw, and also when I tasted things without a sauce, which is very important, you know, the better the quality,
Right.
the less you need to be a cook or a chef to
Yeah.
to be tweaking the product. You know, you leave it alone and you let it be, and then you taste what. So that changed for me a lot. I wanted to learn. But first I wanted to eat. I ate everything, and I drank everything on the show. I drank everything that I got my hands on. I wanted to taste. I wanted to taste everything. I wanted to eat everything. And then after, I wanted to cook.
Right.
I wanted to be able to recreate
What you tasted.
what I tasted. I wanted to you know, and I started on my own. You know, you start on your own, and then I was lucky enough to work with a very, very good chef from Galicia, and you know, he taught me a lot, and I kept on my own, and then I came here, and I was working at a restaurant, and I was starting. Because I decided when I was 30 years old, more than 30 years old, that I wanted to go to culinary school. Who in their sane mind goes to culinary school because they need they have the need of filling up gaps, you know, and you want to be classically trained. It was a very bad economical decision. No, but when I went there, I don't regret. I got what I wanted. I learned with the best that there was. Chef Klaus was excellent, and the team was really good. But you know what I was saying? I went there. What was I
Culinary
saying?
school.
Yeah, I don't know why I was saying that.
You took a detour
No, when you
Yeah,
went to
I was
the-
gonna make a point, and
because you felt that you needed that. No?
yeah, and I was working. I was studying there and working as a server because you make more money as a server.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know how to run the front of the house like probably better than the back of the kitchen. The only thing that you need to be quieter in the front of the house. But so I was working as a server, and I was going to culinary school for you know, for
Right.
my own thing. And then something happened with a customer, and the manager came. One of the managers came and said, "Listen, if you're going to culinary school and what you really want to be is a chef, a cook. You are always in the kitchen telling the kitchen people what to do when you're not supposed to do that. But you're now here, you know, making money as a server, you know, and when you want to be a cook. Why don't you stop pissing off my customers, you know, because I would get with the customer, you know, like, so why don't you stop pissing off my customers and just cook if that's what you want to cook?"
Right.
And then I said, "You know what? I think that you're right." So I go to the general manager who just fixed my schedule so I can do my server thing with my school thing. So he
Right.
just fixed my schedule. After 2 hours of fixing my schedule, I go and I say, "You know what? I'm quitting because I want to be a cook." I was like, after I spent 2 hours fixing, I said, "Don't blame me, blame that one over there that told me to pursue my culinary." And then I went and I got a job cooking here, not in Spain. Spain was before. Here. And it's really difficult to not be. You really need to. You really need to want to be a chef or a cook and leave your server position, because a server comes very nice and dandy, clean, and all that. He comes after you arrive. He does nothing but pissed off the
They
cooks.
do side work.
They do side work at the beginning and at the end, which, you know, I'm not criticizing the servers. I'm not. I was a server for hours, so I'm talking from experience. You make a lot of money. You look at the cooks, and inside of your brain, you're laughing at them because they're all sweaty and running around, and they're gonna be there long before you leave.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna make half of the money that you're making. So for me to leave that behind
Right.
and start cooking was again another bad business decision. You know? But that then.
But you're doing what you love. You see, like
Yeah.
I started doing this, like you said, your memories. I remember my grandmother. I used to take leaves off the plants and boil them and put salt and pepper in there, and she would try it and say, "Oh, este está bueno, este está bueno." I would boil them from the house, you know, and she encouraged me. And every job I ever had was in the kitchen. And like you said, I was doing this. I was probably just graduated high school, and all I ever did since I was 14 was work in the kitchens. And what was I doing? I was a busboy and a waiter, and
Yeah.
and I used to keep getting in trouble for the same reason why you got in trouble. Where's the busboy? I'm in the kitchen peeling potatoes,
Yeah.
cutting celery, cutting carrots, making a mirepoix. They're teaching me how to make a mirepoix. So then, after I graduated, I was supposed to be an architect, but I never did anything like an architect and only cooked. So I wanted to go to culinary school. And I'll never forget, people said, you have to have the paper, you have to have the paper. Now, we're both talking about a time before it was cool to be a chef.
Oh yeah.
Before,
Way before.
there was TV and all that stuff.
Kitchen rats.
And well, I always tell people, growing up, I can speak for myself. The people in the kitchen back then weren't friendly people. It was a lot of criminals, a lot of people
In the kitchen?
Yeah,
Still are.
Yeah, people that couldn't pass background. I had people that couldn't stand up at night.
Exactly.
But that's what we came into. And
Yeah.
I took one job only ever. I took a security job that lasted 6 months. I hated it. I had to go back to the kitchen. And like you said, I know that the waiters make more money. But it's what we love. It's, you get that gratification. And you just said it. When the food doesn't come back, when the people love everything, that you feel so good. When the end of the night, and you serve 50, 100 people, how do you feel?
Oh no, that makes me, it makes me really happy, and it's, it's a big party, and then we all go out and have a drink and all that. Again, it's a very bad economic. I remember when I went to culinary school, Chef Rob, he was master baker and a great pastry chef, chocolatier, Rob Robrowski. And I remember the first day of class, he says, whoever likes to have holidays and parties and have a nice, decent life and be happy and da-da-da-da-da, don't pursue a culinary career. Nobody. They were all kids over there, and nobody understood. I said, well, I know because I'm coming from a restaurant background, so I know what he's saying. Does it make me happy? Yes. Do I love what I do? Yes. Would I be better off doing something else? Yes. Yes. And 100 times yes. Does it make me happy to have for 17 years my own business? Yes. Would I have been happy as someone else? I don't know. I guess that we never know. I'm never going to take these 17 years back.
No. They say the grass is always greener on the other side, too. That's the other thing.
That's what keeps you going.
That's the other, Because, I always tell the story is one place when I worked, I was only part-time. So what I would do is I would volunteer to work as a waiter on the slow days, because the waiters didn't want to come in. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is I would take the order, and then I'd go in the kitchen and do the appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other waiters would say, how come his food came out first?
Yeah, because you would...
Because I went in and, then I was able to take care of my tables,
And also, when you're a server and you know the back of the house, because you are really into that, and and pretty much in Spain and these places, back in the day, I don't know now, but back in the day, servers were like very professionals. They knew that's what they were going to be for the rest of their lives. They were not there because they want to finish school and then go and do or be actors, or they knew they were going to be servers. That's forever. So these people they knew better. Right. They try. At least they try. So when you go to a table, when I go to a table and I explain the dish to a table, I explain the dish from the bottom up. Right. So in your mind, you can see how I'm making, do you do this with that, and it makes sense. And that dish is sold. That dish is sold like, it's sold a bottle of wine, or you sell dessert, or I was a very good front of the house.
The times have changed. We talk about even any kind of service now. Any kind of service is, we sit down sometimes. We don't even finish sitting down. What do you want to drink? Let me look. Give me a minute, right? I mean, some places it's and people have come. Like I said, people get accustomed to bad service, and it's a shame. You know, it's a shame because, again, I know exactly what you're saying about describing the dish. You know, but some people you go in there and you'll say, "Oh yeah, you have branzino special today." Well, what's the branzino? It's a fish. No, how is it? Oh, it has like some stuff on it. You know? Now, if you or I come out there, we're gonna say it's done this way. It's topped with this. It's but a lot of the waiters, and like you said, is very important. A lot of them just do the job because they want to get out of school, or they want to do this, or they want to do that. It's hard to find those professional. I know in Miami and Joe's Stone Crab.
Oh, yours, yeah.
They get a little diamond. I don't know if it's every year, every 2 years that they're a waiter. And you got to see, they have the full crab with all diamonds on it.
I did not know that.
Which means they've been there, a long time. And again, that's someone that's going to be doing that forever. Maitre d's too. Remember Maitre d's?
I bet that my wife would want to see that story about me giving diamonds to the servers. She will have like 17 diamonds.
No, even Maitre d'. Remember Maitre d's?
Yeah,
When's the last time you seen a Maitre d'?
You gotta go probably to one of those big restaurants or some I don't know.
I'll tell you what, they changed the name. It's called the host.
Oh.
When you go to the restaurant, that's the young kid that sits at the front.
No, but the host.
No, that's the new. What's the host is saying?
The host stand, they sit you when you arrive, and well.
But that's basically what the maitre d' used to do. But over time, that phased out. That just phased out.
I don't want to blame the customers because they leave you money behind.
Yeah.
So good or bad, they have all the. You pay for the dish, and you have all the right to criticize the dish. You might like it or not. I don't care. And I don't feel superior. I don't think that I'm more knowledgeable than you are. I listen to you, and again,
Well, no, same you said about
tell you
one
I cannot do it any other way. Now the other day someone came over, and I said they are Cubans, right? If they are Cubans that came from Cuba 2 years ago, directly. I know that the paella is not going to be the same as. So, am I wrong for doing this? Probably I am.
No, wait a minute.
But I don't want to have a problem with the customer. I want to give them what they want. I'm not here to now. If I don't know who you are, I'm in the kitchen and I get it. I do the paella the way I do it for everybody else.
Right.
But if I know who you are.
Oh, you want it.
Then I get a heads up, and that's why you had back in the day. You have a front of the house. You had that maitre d' that would see who everybody was, and it would recognize people. I would tell, "Hey, there's someone here, and this is the mayor. That is that dude. This is this might be a critic. Right. So this guy in the front of the house, the manage all the little details. Work with the kitchen like this." And if people back in the day benefit from that, why wouldn't I? If I know that I can give these people something that they might,
want it differently.
Yeah, because, for instance, I'm Cuban, but I have a different background. I eat spicy, and I eat a lot of different things. But in Cuba, they don't eat a lot of spice. Right. And they don't eat the rice too dry, and they don't do certain things. So that day, I send the paella a little bit more, the only thing that you do, so it doesn't have the crust and the thin. You are a little bit more liquid. Right. Now, this is not that rice parboiled. This is going to overcook a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit mushy. It's not going to be the way I like it, but again, it's like pasta. If you're not Italian, it's going to be undercooked, not al dente. So what is good for one is not good for the other one. Again, so I do this for these people like that. And that rice dish, all of them, come back because they were undercooked and dry.
Ooh.
At that point, I asked, if I put more liquid and I put in the paella pan and I put it in, this is never gonna come up. And I don't wanna see how it's gonna come up.
Right.
Seriously, I don't care. I'm not doing it. They want more broth and they want more soft and whatever. So I put it in a saute pan and I add more liquid and I cook it a bit more and I serve it like a caldoso rice, like a soupy rice, like something that is gonna be on a nice big bowl and it's gonna be soupy and you're gonna have the mochi rice and I'm not gonna criticize you. You're gonna have now that flavor is not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna be the same kind of thing. It's gonna be 2 more minutes until the broth, gets everything out. So the thing actually was not. So that rice goes back back out,
Right.
and they don't eat it. They don't like it.
Oh, wow.
But they pay for the dish, and they left. Did I want to know what was going on like just out of interest?
Right.
What would you do different that I don't know how to please you?
Right.
Like I would,
Right.
But again, in 17 years, this is for people that came from and
Yep. Well, that's what I was
So-
gonna say. If this is what you've been doing for 17 years, you're doing it right. If you got one
huh.
person that comes in that doesn't like it, you can't please everybody.
No, I know,
But
I
the
know.
thing is, when you look at numbers like 17 years, and that's how you've always done it, you're doing
Yes,
something right.
yes,
You have to
yes.
think of it that way. You
No,
can't-
yeah,
but
but-
of course, I would want to know too.
But I would want to
I would-
know.
I would
But
want
then,
to know.
do I want to know the answer? I might not be interested in the answer.
That's
so
true. That's true.
it was like the thing that killed the cat is that they say
Curiosity killed the cat.
curiosity
Yeah.
was the thing that killed the cat. I'm not no cat. So I want to know what could I do wrong so I could please. But then again, do I want to please you? Do I want to know the answer?
Right.
I might not want to know the answer.
might
So I
not,
just,
right, you might not,
I did like that, which I would not done that at the very beginning of me
yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
I would get a lot emotional and involved, and I would want to solve the word. Tame, no, the business tame
Yeah.
me, domesticate
And
me,
time.
into.
Because I used to be, I
And-
had somebody that sent back pork chops. I had spicy Cajun pork chops, 1 inch thick. And the guy told the waiter, he wanted extra spicy. So I said, well, these are really spicy. I said, let him know, I'll give you a sample. So he says, the guy said, tell the idiot in the kitchen to make it double spicy.
That's the server. Somebody said.
So I said, okay.
The server is one of a kind because he should not.
So I said, okay. So I doubled it up. I sent it out. It comes right back. The guy said, these are too spicy. They're unedible. Cook me another set, the regular way. So I cooked the set, sent it out. Toward the end of the night, the waiter comes over. I need your card for the machine. I said, for what? He goes, I have to take the pork chops off. I said, no. They're right there in the to-go box. He said, what? You're going to make him pay for them? I said, yeah. If I made the mistake, or if he wanted them hotter, I would have done that. But I took a $30 product, did what he wanted. After I told him it wasn't going to work, and I'm supposed to eat that? I said, no, I can't do that. I said, I said, my staff knows. Anything comes back, if it's my fault or the server's fault, I'll fix it. But somebody so when I went out there, the guy wants to see the manager now. So he says, yeah, they won't take the food off the plate. Off the bill. And I said, it's probably the idiot that was in the kitchen. And I said, oh wait, that was me.
Yeah, I tell you,
I was younger.
These
So
things with the customers and with the servers, and with ourselves, the ego and the thing, inexperience, and then you have an owner. It's difficult for me because I'm the owner, I'm the employee, I'm the chef, so for me it was You know, if I made a mistake, yeah, it was me, and I couldn't fire myself. I could not fire myself. I wish I could. I would fire myself many, many times, and I would be somewhere else. But I couldn't fire myself. But I think that it's time for me to catch a break from the restaurant industry. All this conversation wants me to get into like a 2 or 3 year vacation from the restaurant and can you know. But it's many things. It's a fast-paced business. You don't plan like you plan a building. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna plan myself and do that. This is from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds, and then there's people that you have to deal with in the kitchen. So it's a lot of different personalities, and then the customers come in.
Yep.
And they bring the money and they bring the business, and that's the job. And then there's many little things, and you should not take it personal. You should not bring the problems that you have outside the restaurant into the restaurant.
Yeah.
That's the little things that I've learned.
Yep.
If you really get peace, you know, don't have a knife next to you. Like, move the knives over there if you know that you're going to get peace. You know what I'm saying? But don't get mad in the kitchen. You know, go out of the kitchen. You know, don't let nobody have problems in the kitchen.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a situation, you know, move them out to the dining, whatever. Put them out. But again, it's a passionate business.
Yeah.
It's built for someone out of passion for what they can do and want to show.
Well, it's definitely not what they see on TV.
No, well, you know. But this is the business of a guy that do something, and he wants that thing that he does well. He wants to make money out of that and give it to people.
Right.
Then he needs that these people appreciate what he does, so he wants to please. Then ego comes and says, screw it. I know better than that guy.
Yeah.
But remember that originally you wanted to please him.
Right.
But when you made enough and you have a name and you have for so many, you say, you know what? I know better than that guy. And I don't need him. And then I don't know. Not that I have not done it. At the beginning, I was kicked out of people by the 10th. Table of 10, out. It was not right for me to. It was not smart. But again, we have established that I make a lot of mistakes. You know, so this was not smart.
I make a lot of
I make a lot of mistakes. I don't know how I'm in business after 17 years, after all these mistakes. You know, so people says back, you know, I don't know how many years back, someone says, you know what, and you're not gonna be in business for a lot of years. And I go like, God, I wish you were right. Like that, but then again, you know, for better or worse, I'm here. And these things, like the other day, I was amazed. I wanted to know, and I said, you don't need to. And I chilled, and I said bye, and very civil, which is the way it should be. You know, probably I'm getting tired and all. But, you know, some things I don't need to know, let them be. And you know what? They pay. But if they would have said, they deal with a server, he put the top, they pay for it, there was not, so I'm not gonna get into that. But if they would have said, listen, I wanna talk to the chef because I don't want, I would say, you know what, I don't need how much, $100 full pie. I don't need that. Take it, take it,
Yeah.
Don't pay, go and that's it. Because
Right, because they didn't really enjoy it, so you know that. You know, it's different when they eat half the plate
yeah,
and say, "Oh, this is no good." It's like,
it's everything is really bad because let's say that you order octopus. Octopus is something between you and me. People don't like, but it's in fashion. not so much now, but 10
Yeah.
years ago, nobody wanted to eat an octopus.
Right. Nobody wanted to eat
It's the leg of an ugly animal.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It has to cook for a while. Now, Italians and Spaniards, yes, they want to eat an octopus because they have been eating them forever. Americans and Cubans, they haven't been eating octopus like it was, like Greeks. They haven't. But now it's cool to eat an octopus, and they want the octopus. The only thing is that, yeah, man, I want to eat the octopus, but this is too tough. No, it's the way it's supposed to be. It has to have a texture. Then you have to cook it more. Now, for you, lose the texture. Right. It's too soft, but at least you keep the fat and the tentacles and not the tentacles, the little the suckers. Yeah, I've seen places that they just give you the white thing like that because everything got lost in the boiled thing. But why that happens? Because people follow the fashion and they want a stir tartare because it's cool and it looks good, but they don't eat raw meat.
Right.
They want octopus, but they don't like it. And seriously, they don't need to eat it.
Yeah.
Because if they don't like it, why would you eat it? It's expensive. And when they send the octopus back, it pisses me off because that leg of octopus not only cost me a lot of money, I'm never going to get that money back, but that octopus die in vain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. Just say no. So when the specials, I have it as a special, quality sometimes is better than no. So I tell the servers, you don't need to sell these to everybody.
Right.
You can mention, but don't emphasize. We don't want to sell,
Right.
It's not what I made the most money. It might be expensive, but I'm not making the most money. I made most money on something else.
Right.
So don't.
But if you have someone that likes octopus.
If someone says,
oh yeah,
then yes.
Yeah, then we got it.
But if you need to push him over the border
you don't
for them to eat it, don't do it. Not worth it.
No, a trend now I see, and you said about trends, I see calamar.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places sell fried calamar, no tentacles.
No, because people don't like the calamari.
I love the tentacle. I get it.
That's what I love the most.
I'm like, where? Because sweet. That's the sweetness.
Is the crunchiest and is the more flavorful part of the animal and is the most fun.
Yeah.
Why don't they eat that? Because they don't really like the animal. And the tentacles of the calamari is the whole body of the octopus.
Right.
Because you don't need the head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
Man,
I would sit there with a whole plate of them. I love it. And I'm sitting, we get them, I'm like, where's the tentacle? Oh, people don't like them.
No, people don't like the tentacles.
but it's also education. They're
Yeah.
going with the trend. They're not eating something because they know what it is and they honor it and they're going to eat it. They're just going with the trend.
Yeah, they want to try things.
That's
and
true.
The thing is that as a customer, when you want to try something, if you don't like it, it's not the animal's fault, it's not the chef fault or the cook or the server. You wanted to try, you don't like it,
Right.
Yeah.
it's on you.
100%.
It doesn't agree
Putting
with
it back
you,
to go.
right? It's your person that it doesn't
Yeah,
agree
like
with.
there are things that I don't eat. There are
Exactly.
things that I don't care.
Exactly.
There are things that I have cooked for hours and I cannot eat it. Like that, the belly of the pig, the
The pork
Oh
belly.
yeah, the pork belly.
no, the inside, the
Tripe.
pati panza, the tripe with the
Tripa.
feet.
Yeah.
So the tripe, I went and I follow. I think it was Thomas Keller recipe or somebody else, read. So I boiled the thing so many times to clean it, throw the water, fresh water, put the fresh herbs, do the thing. Blah, blah. The whole restaurant smell like
Bad.
bad. So I know I'm not gonna eat that thing because after 7 times of boiling the thing,
Yeah.
then I have to cook it in a sauce or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
After many times, that thing is not agreeing with me whatsoever. My wife is very mad at me. The whole thing smells bad, and then comes in an Italian friend of mine, comes in and says, "Oh my God, you are having tripe. Let me see, Dudo." Oh, I said, "No, I don't want that. I'm gonna throw that away." He says, "No. So he got the tripe and he cooked in 5 minutes the tripe in 7 different ways. He
Wow.
put some flour on, fried a little bit, then he did a spicy tomato sauce, he did it with garlic and blah blah blah, and he did it with, and he put like 7 little plates and a whole lot of bread, and he ate the whole thing, or most of it.
Wow.
Which I was not. I saw him do that, and I left him. I don't. But he has that in him,
Right, right,
like boiled yuca.
right.
I eat boiled yuca. Boiled yuca, I eat it.
Right.
I have a Uruguayan friend doesn't understand boiled yuca, and there's no way. He says, "Why would you?" And then he asked me, "Why would you eat that?" But I guess that someone back in the day was really hungry
Right.
and boiled the yuca.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, why would you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we're civilized, so we use a little extra virgin olive oil now.
Now you put flavor again, and then it comes in your DNA. I think that the way you season food is because back in the day, those things where you season the food with was good for your health.
Yes.
It's not like I like it, that's why I eat it. It was like I use it, it was good,
Yeah.
my health.
Yeah.
So when I ate it in that manner, it made me feel good. That's why my taste bud appreciate the flavor. So the flavor comes after
The health.
it heals you and restore you, and your body appreciates that, and then somehow the mind says, well, that's the flavor that I'm gonna follow and I'm gonna like from now on.
Yeah.
That's the way I think it
That's
kind of
deep.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
lot of
no,
it.
but that's
No?
deep. Yes.
I don't understand. Why would you put fenugreek in sausages? Well, the Germans and the Italians
Yeah,
do, but
yeah.
something has to do with them because not the
No one
Argentinians
else
don't do
puts
that.
fennel. Yeah.
Right.
So, do I respect that? Of course, I respect that.
think
More
it
or less,
tastes
but
better.
yeah. Well, why?
That's what I think.
Why do Mexicans and people in the Sahara, Africa, Middle East, and why certain cultures eat spicy food? Because it opens the pores and makes you sweat. When you sweat, you clean
Detox.
the pores, and then you breathe better, and now you are fresher in a hot environment because you say it is hot and they're gonna eat hot food. Why would
Right.
in a hot place you're gonna eat hot food? Because
There's,
it makes you feel better.
right. There's a reason.
It's like you have an air conditioning and you clean the dust on the filter, and now it works better. Does the air conditioning likes a brush? Not really. Only after it makes it
Right,
feel so
exactly.
much better that you appreciate that brush that cleans you.
Yeah.
And that's why they eat, and and it makes sense. Now, if I were to start now doing a spicy food all of a sudden, which I do, but if I were to start doing this, it's not gonna be appealing to me.
Right.
Now, I'm not gonna blame the whole Mexican culture about what they're doing with their sauces. I'm not gonna judge them, and that's how I think that the customer should be a little bit more civilized and a little bit more empathy when they say, "Well, I don't like that type." Well, you know what? It's not their fault. You pay for it,
Right.
even though you didn't like it. There's nothing wrong with that type of food.
Right.
I don't like hummus. Okay, but it's not their fault. That's the way they do it.
That's the
You pay for it, and then don't have it again.
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because a lot of times they want to sample something, and that used to kill me. They order something, and this is, I don't know, the '80s when I was a waiter. So that was in the '80s, and we're looking at a dish that's $40. and that's in the 80s. And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I want to try it."
What do you mean you wanna
And
try
I'm
it?
sitting there like,
What do you
I
mean you
don't
wanna
think
try it?
that's something to try. That's like $100 dish today. I want to try it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what we do is, she likes a lot of stuff that I don't like. So a lot of times we'll order something,
Yeah.
and I say, I know you don't want this, but I'm ordering because I know you'll eat it if I don't like it.
Right.
And then she'll order something else. So I'll try it, and if I like it, it stays here. If I don't, we do it that way. But when they say, "Oh, I want to try it," what do you mean try it? It's like, and if you don't like it, then what? Who's gonna, and like I said, back to those pork chops. What was I supposed to do with those pork chops?
No, nothing.
Again, that was in the 90s. $30 1-inch pork chop. What am I supposed to
Yeah,
do?
well, that's right. Yeah,
No, you're
I've
paying
never
it,
tried
you take it.
lobster. Let me try that thing, and then I
Yeah.
tell you how it goes. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But anyway,
Oh my goodness. Between now and the end of the year, do you have any special events planned or any promotions?
Well, we are doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think that we have a paella mixta promotion that goes with sangria,
Sangria.
like a little jack of sangria. So when you come in, you don't order the sangria and then the paella mixta. You order the thing, the dish, which is the way, because it's different sizes and stuff, but it's plenty for two. Ample, and I think that goes like for $50. So you're saving like the sangria goes like for free.
well, definitely, it's enough for two, definitely. Cause
Yeah, I
Because
think
we
that
have
is
it.
more than enough for
We've
two.
had it.
I don't know
We've had it.
why.
Yeah.
And we've
That's
had
something
it
that
like
someone
it's
has to
alone.
explain me. I make the same amount for one person, so a single portion is not more or less. It's the same when I do double. Somehow, it's more when you double the recipe.
Right.
End up being more
paella.
than. No, don't ask me why.
We also
I
have
don't-
appetizer though. See, maybe a single person doesn't get an appetizer.
No. The way I look
the
at the
volume?
paella,
The
the volume,
volume.
I don't know how, but
Oh.
it's something that
like
I
the
might be
little
going nuts. But for me, when I serve a single, which is the same amount
It's smaller.
than the double, which is the same, two singles. It ends up being a smaller portion, the single one that I don't know. That's good, and which is even better, I think, is like the happy hour, which is from 3 to like 6, Tuesday through Friday. Is 20% off the whole menu and the wine list and pretty much everything but the specials, because the specials,
Special
is
already.
Specials.
but you can come and take advantage of the most expensive wines and whatever you want to try. And at the very end, as long as you ring the food in on that time frame, you're gonna have a 20% off direct. I asked them to do that, so I don't have nothing. Some people say, they didn't give me the 20%. Listen, if I put in the thing, it gives it to you automatically. I have nothing to do. So if you already passed that thing, if you came at 6 and you order at 6:15, I don't think that it's gonna give it to you because it's not 6.
Not six.
It's gonna be put in before 6. But and I'm doing something new. I don't think that this is out. So the 20% that paella thing, and I'm doing something for these big tables. I think that we're gonna do. It can be 6 to 8 people. More than 8 people, I don't think so. Well, 8 people, up to 8 people on the table. You can order 4 appetizers from one section of the menu, value $9 to $13, something like that. And then you can order another 4 from the 15 to whatever.
Okay.
So you can get, for instance, patatas bravas, boquerones, garbanzo with sausages, and something else out of that part, tumaca and serrano ham. And then you can order like a charcuterie board, small charcuterie board, garlic shrimp, stuffed piquillo peppers that are very popular, and artichokes with ham. So 8 appetizers
Okay.
will be, for the whole table, will be $120, and it will come with 3 pitchers of sangria, regular size, sangria, 3 liters of sangria, or 1.5 liters of the house wine that I have, that is very good.
Okay.
Which I think is a good deal because pretty much you're getting all the booze,
Right.
on the price for like free. It's something
Okay, and-
to bring parties in.
And for those that didn't get it, I'll put this at the end so we can
Yes,
see.
yeah, it's a little confusing because I draw the idea. Jose is working on it to. Oh no, and there's something else because there's something going on like the dine out or the taste of
Okay.
Broward or
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale, something
One
like
of
that.
those things.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a prefix menu. It's $45.
Okay.
And you get 5 courses. You get a little montadito, which is like a bruschetta with something on top.
Okay.
Then you get an appetizer. You get a main course. You get dessert. And then you get a glass of wine.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
45?
45.
Wow.
And nobody have come.
Yeah.
So I
They
don't
may
know.
not know what's going on.
Well, it's on
because,
the website and somewhere else, but I don't think something happens that
We gotta get that out.
Yeah, we'll get that
Is
out.
that during
that's
the month
fun.
of August or September?
Always go. They're gonna run it probably August or September.
Okay.
But I have it out already because they're gonna run it in the future. But I wanna see how it works so I can tweak it by the time that
Okay.
Sure.
But what can it be wrong about it? Because the way I look at it is, I don't offer a montadito in a small tapas format.
Right.
And I don't offer the second course is a smaller format. But with the dishes that I'm offering, I thought that I could make them so I can accommodate and you can taste more.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Is the idea
That's
is
the
that you
idea of
can
that. That's the
taste
idea.
more when you purchase that menu, and then you have a glass of white. Now again, the white and the red that I'm gonna serve are the ones that I have on my regular menu. This is not like the picture of house wine.
Right.
This is a regular glass of wine that you see on the menu. It can be a Rioja, it can be a Rivera, it can be an Alvarinho, a Rosé, a glass of Cava, whatever. Whatever it is, $10 on the menu, which is the entry level of my wine. You can order that. I don't care if it goes, it's part of the deal. That too, so it's like 4 things going on. The paella with sangria was very popular. Again,
Yeah,
people
that used to
try
be-
it
right,
and then
that
they
used to be on
don't.
Thursdays only before, right? It used to be Thursdays.
It used to be Thursdays because I was doing something else the other days of the week, and then I said, well, you know what? Because a lot of people will come on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, and then you have to stay. No, it's only on a Thursday.
Yeah, it's hard.
The aggravation of explaining, I'd rather
Yeah,
give it to
yes,
them
yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because otherwise I have to be explaining and people get mad and they don't understand. And I don't even understand why on a Thursday and not on Tuesday. I'm not doing anything on Tuesday. And it's the same thing. So you know what I'm saying? So just give
You
it
can
to
do it, you
them.
can do it. That's
I think that making things easier on the customer sometimes pay off, but
Yeah.
you cannot make it so easy than then you hang it yourself.
Yeah.
So, but in certain things you can. So I try to, I try to on certain things.
Do you have anything else you want to add? Or
12.
something you've forgotten?
12 p.m. noon till 10 o'clock, Tuesday through Saturdays, we're here. We have lunch specials. There are certain things from the regular menu that that are a little bit less, Not all of the menu, but certain items make sense for lunch.
Right.
They are a little bit, better price. And there's the Cuban food that starts like at $12 and it's very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I
It's
can
very
vouch
good.
for that.
I agree.
I don't cook that food. My wife does.
I agree.
I don't
And
do.
her beans. Her beans are
The
like,
black beans, the
How's
motor
this work?
rice, everything. That's
this
my
work?
wife. My wife.
And actually, we were mad because we came one day. We didn't know you were closed. You know the days.
Yeah.
I don't. To me, every day is a day.
Yeah, like
So I don't know what day. So we pulled up. I'm like, oh my god,
It's
they're
closed
closed.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the lunch. So I have the lunch. Then there's the happy hour, which still, keeps the prices till 6 o'clock very decent.
Very
So you finish working, you want to swing by, bring food home. That's good.
Yeah, perfect.
Then the whole day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have the paella thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have the paella and sangria, and that $45 per person, the tasting thing. I wish that someone comes in and orders it so I know how it's gonna be. I don't know. I have no experience with that. Only here. I don't
Now,
know.
something I don't normally do is you got this beautiful back room. This is the back room. If you guys see this, this is two parts of the restaurant. So
Yeah,
back
this
here
is
you do. They can
private events,
Okay. How
parties.
many- like how many people roughly?
Well, like in a long stretch like that can be probably 24. If they want the whole thing, they cannot all sit together.
So it's great for like a shower or a
Oh yeah,
birthday
yeah.
party, or
Birthday parties, and
Yeah.
Even for lunch meetings.
lunch meetings. We're in the Wilton Manners area.
If you call me and you want to do that, I can preset. I love when things that are done in advance.
Yes.
Makes it a lot easier. There's nothing I can do when you come in with 20 people and sit down. There's
We wanna
nothing
eat
I can do for you.
Yeah.
If you do it beforehand, then I can do something for you. Then I can say, well, you're gonna be coming in. I'm gonna be ready for you. We're gonna be having this and that, and I'm gonna give you this,
Yep.
Yeah.
and we're gonna set a price, and everybody's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
If you come in like that, there's nothing I can do
Yeah, last minute.
because that's a regular cost. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna be a special price and a special, you have to be a special. You cannot just be the regular guy coming in through the door. You have to take,
Yeah.
But the rest is all so good. It's
And where can you be located and how can they reach you?
by phone they can do 954-7. No, see, that's my cell phone. 954-563-8088.
Okay.
That's the restaurant phone. You can leave a message on the internet, on the website. There's the part that you can do that.
And the address here.
The address is 2909 Northeast 6th Avenue in Wilton Manners. It is 33334. It used to be the Kmart in front of us.
Now it's a huge building.
Now it's a huge complex. Nice, really nice. It looks better at night. Before it looked really, really bad.
I know we came here when they were knocking everything down and yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But so anyway, anything else on there?
Yeah, good.
No?
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Totally
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah.
No, my pleasure. I think that it was more than 15 minutes. I think that we talk a lot. So bye.
No, but that's
Well, that's because we haven't seen each other in a while.